the time has come to teach you about playing Gravekeeper. Again. Even if you don't play Gravekeeper yourself, I recommend sticking around to watch, as understanding how a character works is just as important to playing with them well as it is to playing as them well. Please note, this is an update of another Gravekeeper guide I've made in the past, so the footage used here is a mixture of matches from both before and after his buffs. Any clips with this little star in the corner are from before his buffs and should be taken with a grain of salt. First, the basics. Andrew is a full rescue type survivor and is the only survivor with access to the shovel item, which he has 2 of at the start of each match. Each shovel allows Andrew to enter the digging state for up to 35 seconds per shovel. While digging, Andrew moves 10% faster, is immune to most control effects, and can absorb damage equal to 1 regular attack. When he surfaces willingly from digging, he gains a 50% rescue speed boost that lasts for 5 seconds, but the total remaining time on his current shovel is reduced by 10 seconds. Additionally, Andrew can dash forward and erupt out of the ground with an ability called Tremor. This leap from the ground will knock back nearby hunters a short distance, but reduces his remaining shovel time by 15 seconds instead of 10. Like most rescue characters, Andrew also has a flat decoding debuff. His is 15%. Now for the implementation. For rescuing with Andrew, you essentially have 2 options. When utilizing his shovel while approaching a shared survivor, you can either absorb a hit near the chair to guarantee a rescue and free you up to body block on the way out, or you can surface right in front of the chair and rescue with the speed boost, which, especially when combined with the risky move trait or Postman's Bravery Letter, makes him the fastest rescuer in the game. And with those boosts, he actually rescues faster than a lot of hunters' hit animations take to complete, which can greatly reduce his chances of being terror shocked. Because of this, sometimes you can push for a rescue the moment you surface from digging. A lot of hunters will want to try for that terror shock, but with the speed boost factored in, they may end up with just a regular hit on you. Please note, this isn't to say you'll never get terror shocked. Some hunters, especially in higher ranks, are very familiar with this trick and will expect it. You'll need to work on your reaction time so you can pull away from a chair if they swing at you earlier than expected. This trick also works better when paired with his Tremor ability. If a hunter is standing too close to the chair, you can dash and push them back. For most hunters, this animation is long enough that you can complete the rescue before they're close enough to land a hit again. Additionally, when using the shovels with space below him, he can also surface downward from digging, making him one of the best and safest options for basement rescues. You do want to make sure there's plenty of distance between you and the hunter before you drop down, though. Surfacing downward leaves a hole in the ground that hunters can follow you through to try and get a double hit. Now, making Andrew's shovels last is one of the most important things to playing him well, which is why I recommend you aim to use only 1 shovel for your kite if you end up with first chase. I do want to emphasize that it is okay to use both shovels if the hunter is committed to you though. Going down super early can cause more issues for your teammates than you not having an item. But if ciphers start popping before you've used both shovels, consider saving the second one for a rebound kite or a late game rescue if the hunter switches targets. And if you end up not rescuing, a shovel can completely save your match by providing a safe escort to your teammates on the way out. If you have a shovel left at endgame and you know one of your teammates is making their way to your gate, Andrew is one of the few survivors I actually advocate to wait around in certain situations instead of leaving. Detention is an exception to Andrew's damage blocking limit and is actually treated the same as a non-detention hit, so there won't be any overflow damage and you and your teammate both have a better chance of making it out safely. Outside of those detention gate blocks though, an early shovel block is almost never ideal. You can get several speedy rescues or up to 35 seconds of speed boost and mind game kiting out of 1 shovel, and it's best to keep those options available to you for as long as possible. Shovel hits also provide presence to the hunter, so in a worst case scenario, you'll be chaired super early and the hunter will be nearly full presence from 4 consecutive hits. You also have to be wary of how much space is between you and someone else when you use a shovel. When his dig animation is interrupted, regardless of if it's by a hunter or a survivor, the shovel's duration is reduced by 10%. Worse, if the interruption comes from a hunter's attack, it won't count as a shovel block, so you take the damage anyway and waste some of your resources. This is an improvement, as prior to his early 2025 buff, an interruption used to destroy the shovel entirely. But if a hunter is close to hitting you and you're not in a dire position, it may still be best to just take the hit and not gamble your shovel. It's also better to keep some distance from teammates whose abilities cause some kind of pushback animation, like Little Girl with her page or Prospector with his magnets. If you get moved by either of these abilities, it will cancel your shovel during the dig animation just the same as an attack from a hunter. When kiting with a shovel, I find the best spots to hang around are small looping areas. The speed boost Andrew gets while digging makes it harder for hunters to catch up with him, and turning tight corners makes it more likely you'll juke any swings when they get close. Additionally, if you're looping an area small enough to keep the digging trail fresh, it's harder for hunters to spot when you turn around as the trails overlap. On that note, however, I also advise turning off any special effects for hunters on Andrew's accessories. The lava and root designs for his trails make it easier to spot any turnarounds. When a shovel is about to run out, you have a couple of options. You can try to fake a mistake that leaves you open for a hit. A lot of hunters don't count the time you've been digging, so they may not be aware of how long you can actually keep going for and will swing to expose you and farm presence anytime they see an opening. You can also try to get a stun off by surfacing suddenly around pallets and trying to catch the hunter off guard. Or, and one of my personal favorites now, you can wait for the last 5% or so of your shovel and dash forward as far as you can to gain some extra distance. Using Tremor or surfacing manually will reduce up to 15 or 10 seconds of your shovel respectively, but they don't require that much of your shovel to be left in order to use them. This red line on the shovel duration bar marks 10 seconds remaining on your shovel. If you emerge from the shovel past this line, the shovel will disappear. And for Tremor, it's just a little ahead of that. So you'll get the most value out of a shovel if you're able to save these moves for the very, very end of a shovel's life. As one last note, you need to be wary of drop-down areas on the map. If you're actively digging and accidentally go over a ledge large enough to trigger a falling animation, you will be forced out of your shovel and it will still reduce your duration by 10 seconds, just like emerging manually. Now let's get into your build and matchup dynamics. This is my personal persona build. As a rescue, I always recommend bringing Tide on Andrew and borrow time in case you have to go in for a late game rescue. As for smaller traits, Risky Move is a must-have for his OP rescue speed and Empathy for making it across large maps for a timely rescue. Symbiotic Effect is good for a similar purpose, and Telepathy is handy for getting in late game shovel blocks with uncommunicative randoms. Personally, I also like to run the Doctor trait on my rescues and supports, but you could run just about anything else with the remaining points. Because Andrew's shovels have the combination of making him temporarily immune to most control effects and blocking up to one full instance of damage, he serves as a counter for several hunters. Digging protects him from some of the abilities of Disciple, Wuchang, Wax Artist, Hermit, Night Watch, Undead, Breaking Wheel, and Peddler. A well-used shovel can also extend his kite against chip hunters like Fool's Gold, Guard 26, Sculptor, etc. However, a poorly timed shovel can also be easily wasted by rapid chips. Additionally, digging counters the stalling effects of patrollers, even if you're already bitten. Gameskeeper and Shadow both directly counter Andrew, however, as they can both force him out of shovel and leave him exposed. For team combos, remember that Prospector, Fire Investigator, and Little Girl can cancel out Andrew's dig animation, but Little Girl can sync to Andrew while he is actively digging, making her one of the easier teammates to escort. Cheerleader's Inspire also fully resets Andrew's 13-second shovel cooldown. And that's all I have for you folks. Feel free to ask any questions and discuss in the comments below, and if you found this guide helpful, consider liking, sharing, and following for more content. Happy rescuing!